Hi, it's Lawyer Vince, and welcome back to How to Convince. Today's episode is about something I wish everyone learned in school: verbal self-defense. Because here's the truth: people will test you. They'll test your patience, your boundaries, and confidence. And if you don't know how to defend yourself with words, you end up either saying nothing or saying the wrong thing. Verbal self-defense is not about being clever. It's not about comebacks or winning the argument. It's about having language ready so when someone comes at you with disrespect, manipulation, or intimidation, you can stand your ground with calm, powerful words. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and join the newsletter with the link in the description. That's where you can send me your questions and be featured in the Q&A at the end. All right, let's get into it. Most people think self-defense means fighting back, punch for punch, word for word. But true verbal self-defense isn't about being reactive. It's about three moves. The first, deflecting, not letting an attack land. The second, disarming, taking the sting out of their words. And the third, redirecting, moving the conversation to ground you in control. Think of it like martial arts. A good fighter doesn't absorb every punch, right? They use their opponent's energy against them. Verbal self-defense works the same way. If you let insults, sarcasm, or manipulation hit you square in the chest, you'll react out of emotion. But if you know how to deflect and redirect, you stay in control. Let's break down the common types of verbal attacks that you need to defend against. The first, the jab, insults and put-downs. Some examples would be, "That was a dumb idea," or "Wow, you really messed that up." Your defense, don't squeak back. Deflect and redirect. Say, "Interesting take. Let's look at the actual options." 2. The hook. These are guilt trips. Some examples: "If you really cared, you'd do this for me." Your defense, name it, then hold the boundary. What I want you to say is, "That sounds like guilt, and guilt isn't how I make decisions." The third, the smokescreen. That's distraction and deflection. You call someone out and they change the subject. "Well, what about the time you, right, ... Your defense is pull it back. What I want you to say is, "We're not talking about that right now. Let's stay on the issue." 4, the power play. This is when there's aggression or intimidation. Like when they're raising their voice, cutting you off, getting in your space. Your defense, lower volume and set the line. Say, "I'll continue this when we can both speak respectfully." By learning these categories, you can spot an attack before it triggers you and have a preloaded defense ready. Here are 7 phrases that act like verbal armor, so write these down. Number 1, "What did you mean by that?" This makes people own their words. 2, "I don't make decisions based on guilt or pressure." This shuts down manipulation. 3, "Let's focus on one issue at a time." This disarms distraction. Number 4, "I'll respond when the tone is respectful." This sets a line without aggression. And 5, "I see it differently, and here's why." This is assertive disagreement without hostility. Number 6, "That's outside my responsibility, but here's what I can do." See, this is boundary with value. And 7, silence. Sometimes the most powerful defense is none. The real secret, verbal power, doesn't come from what you say. It comes from how you carry yourself and when you say it. A calm tone shows control. Your direct words show clarity, and consistency equals credibility. If you only fight back sometimes and stay quiet other times, people don't know what to expect. Consistency is what builds respect. Here are the 4 advanced tactics that I teach all my clients. Tactic number 1, the mirror. Repeat the exact disrespect back in a neutral tone. When they say, "That's stupid," you say, "Stupid?" Now they hear themselves. See, tactic 2. This is the broken record. You repeat your boundary calmly until they stop. Tactic 3, pre-commit. Before a tough talk, decide, no matter what, I won't raise my voice. Tactic 4, this is the escalation clause. I want you to say, "If this continues, we'll need a third party involved." This signals, I won't fight you, but I'm not afraid to escalate. All right, now it's time for my favorite part. This is the Q&A. So question 1, how do you politely but definitely end a hinge date without lying or being rude? Funny enough, this one comes up a lot. Not just for dating, but anytime you're in a situation and you want to exit gracefully without creating awkwardness, here's the challenge. Most people do one of two things. Either they lie, oh, I have an early morning tomorrow, or they hint, well, it's getting kind of late. The problem? These lies get messy, and hints leave wiggle room. That's why the date drags on longer than you want. The key is honesty with closure. You give a compliment, then you close the door. Here's the phrase. Say, I've enjoyed meeting you, but I'm ready to wrap up for tonight. Why does this work? When you're polite, you lead with appreciation, right? I've enjoyed meeting you. Then you're direct. You clearly state your boundary. I'm ready to wrap it up. And finally, there's no wiggle room for them to push back. Let me give you a couple variations depending on your style. You can say, this has been fun, but I'm going to head out now. Or you can say, I'm glad we got to meet. I'm going to call it a night. So notice, no lies, no fake excuses, no open-ended signals that you might stick around if they insist, right? And here's a mindset shift. You don't owe anyone a marathon date just because you said yes to one drink or one dinner. Respectful honesty is better than dragging it out and hoping they take the hint. The person on the other side might be disappointed, but they'll respect you for being clear. And you'll respect yourself for holding the line. All right, question 2. What is the basic framework for an assertive phrase? This is such an important question because most people confuse assertive with aggressive. They think being assertive means coming off harsh, but it's actually the opposite. Assertiveness is calm, clear, and respectful, but it's firm. So here's the framework I teach. Every assertive phrase has 3 parts. Part 1, direct language. Drop the fluff. No hedging words like maybe, I think, sort of, or just. Assertive language is simple, short, and clear. Part 2, respectful tone. Assertiveness isn't about raising your voice. In fact, the calmer your tone, the stronger your words land. Think level voice, steady pace, and no defensiveness. And part 3, boundary or action. Assertiveness isn't just saying what you won't do, it's also guiding what will happen next. That's the difference between shutting people down and actually moving the conversation forward. Here's how it sounds in practice. Say, I can't take that on right now, but I can help you prioritize what's most urgent. Notice what's happening there? There's direct language. I can't take that on. Respectful tone, there's steady delivery with no apology. And a boundary or action, but I can help you prioritize. Question 3. How do I move from passive learning to active learning with this? The answer is, you have to apply daily. Rehearse one phrase out loud each morning. Use it in a small, low-stakes interaction. Reflect at the end of the day. Practice, it beats theory. Question 4. What about tone shifts across hierarchy, bosses, colleagues, subordinates, and family? For this, you have to adjust your tone, not the boundary. So for your boss, you want to be respectful and solution-oriented. With a colleague, you want to be collaborative. With a subordinate, you want to be clear and directive. With family, you want to be value-based, right? Like you want to say, I want us to respect each other. Question 5. How do you tell your supervisor no when it's outside your scope of work? This is a big one because for a lot of people, saying no to a boss feels almost impossible. The fear is, if I say no, I'll look lazy, unhelpful, or even insubordinate. But here's the truth. Boundaries and professionalism can exist in the same sentence. And in fact, saying no the right way builds respect because it shows you know your role and your limits. So here's the framework. Step 1, acknowledge the request. Never start with, that's not my job, or that sounds dismissive, right? Instead, you want to acknowledge that you heard them. Say, I understand what you're asking. Then go to step 2, state the boundary clearly. Say, but that falls outside of my role. This is direct, not apologetic. And then step 3, offer a solution or redirection. You can say, what I can do is support by ... Or the best person to handle this would be, and then name them and say, should I loop them in? Let's put it all together, right? So you would say, I understand what you're asking, but that falls outside of my role. What I can do is help organize the details so the right department can handle it. This is powerful because you're not just shutting a door, you're opening a better one. And here's the key. Bosses don't actually want a hard no. They want confidence that the issue is still being handled. But redirecting with a clear solution, you protect your scope and you come across as proactive. So here's your challenge for this week. Write down the last disrespectful thing someone said to you. Now pick one, just one of today's armor phrases and practice it out loud until it feels natural. If this episode helped you, subscribe, like the video, and join the newsletter. Comment, words are armor, so I know you made it to the end. And if you want personalized coaching, I offer one-on-one sessions where we roleplay your toughest conversations until these defenses are second nature. Spots are limited, so check the link below. This has been How to Convince with Lawyer Vince. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you same time next week.